The Howard Stern Show.
You described Jay Leno. You were on The Tonight Show when Jay was hosting.
Yes.
And I like that you talk about this because I find him a bit robotic. You would say that he read off cue cards while he was interviewing you.
Yeah.
And that is an interesting thing. I think that's a put down, no? That he was reading off cue cards.
You know, what's interesting about him, and I love, if you're into late night TV, I interact with every single late night host in my book.
Yes.
I had this year where Letterman's in there and Kimmel and Fallon and Seth Meyers, and they're all in my book. And Leno was an interesting thing because he comes and he hangs out with you in your dressing room before the show, and he's so nice, and you talk. And
There's no cue cards.
No cue cards,
right.
nothing. And I was talking to him, and I was really talking to him about what happened with Cohen, and because I really want to get the dish, and I had just read that Carson book, which I was so obsessed with.
And then you go out on the show, and it's a different guy.
Yeah, it was not that spontaneous, but I got him talking, actually, about something which you then brought up on Letterman a few weeks later, which is, I turned the tables on him on the show, which was a moment of real spontaneity where I was asking him about his relationship with Letterman, and that was when he said he speaks to Letterman on the phone occasionally.
Right.
And so I felt like we broke through there, but yeah, no, it was a different. I felt like he was looking over me.
Right,
you know?
he'd be a much more interesting guy if he'd loosen up and have a real conversation. Now, you talk about Letterman in your book.
Yes.
You have never been invited back. I didn't really understand the story.
I felt like I really bombed or pissed him off or something.
What did you say?
I said, we got talking about, he was asking me, he was very fascinated by the amount of alcohol that is consumed on my show.
Right.
And we were talking about that. And then he said...
Right, you let your guests drink during the show.
Yeah. And he said, I said, we were talking about his alcoholism and his issue with alcohol, and he was saying he was a mean drunk and this and that. And somehow I said, he said he hadn't had a drink in a certain amount of time, and I said, I'm going to give you a chip when I leave, referring to AA or something. And it was a throwaway comment, but I don't think he liked it, and it's on YouTube. And if you watch it, he immediately turned to me and said, "Are we done?" And I was like, I don't know. Are we? And he said, well, do you have anything else to say? It was just, I don't know.
I think this is very interesting what you're saying, because I have said this. I think with Dave, you're out there, you're trying to be loose, you're trying to be a little outrageous, you're trying to just be a good guest, you're trying to please. When I go on a show, I try to be interesting. Mm-hmm. And then sometimes there are moments where you think, this guy just zoned out. I've lost him. And you don't even kind of know why.
Right. And the second the segment ended, the segment producer came over, which is when, I thought, that was weird. Yeah. The segment producer came up and said, that wasn't as bad as you thought. That wasn't as bad. And he really started saying how horrible it wasn't. And I was like,
again, the comment was, gee, I'm going to give you a chip.
I'm going to give you a chip, I said. And...
big fucking deal.
Yeah, right. I don't know. It was just, I felt like it all went off.
Do you think that you are persona non grata over at the Letterman show now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Isn't that weird? Well, I have thought many times that same thing. I've had a long time with Dave, and I think
you've been in and out, right?
Yeah. But that is really kind of an interesting story. And then sort of completing your notes on late night guys, you've become very close to Jimmy Fallon and his wife.
He's amazing.
Now, close meaning you guys get together every couple of weekends.
We get together, when we're both out east. He's busy, I'm busy, but close in that. We like to hang out when we can.
Yeah, I know Jimmy, and I know his wife, and I started to sort of, but I find him to be difficult to get together with.
Oh no, he's very busy.
Is that what it is?
He's got busy. A lot going on. They're very, they have a big family. They're very close with. They always have a lot of house guests and stuff. But they're fun and great, and
wife's very
good
nice.
Party.
I like his wife a lot.
Nancy, she's amazing.
Very, very nice.
Yeah.
Well, maybe everybody's just busy, Howard. That's why you never see anybody again.
No, there are people I've been with who are not busy, and then they become very busy. I'm just telling you, it's the truth.